Yes. I have things in my pocket. I have tricks up my sleeve, but I'm the opposite of a stage magician. He gives you illusion that has the appearance of truth. I give you truth in the pleasant disguise of illusion. To begin with, I turn back time. Back to that quaint period, the 30s, when the huge middle class of America was matriculating in the school for the blind. Their eyes had failed them, or they had failed their eyes, and so they were having their fingers pressed forcibly down on the fiery Braille alphabet of a dissolving economy. In Spain, there was revolution. Here, there was only shouting and confusion. In Spain, there was Guernica. Here, labor disturbances, sometimes pretty violent in otherwise peaceful cities such as Chicago, Cleveland, St. Louis. This is the social background of our play. The play is a memory play. Being a memory play, it is dimly lighted, it is sentimental, it is not realistic. In memory, everything seems to happen to music. This explains the fiddle in the wings. I'm the narrator of the play, as well as a character in it. The other characters are my mother Amanda, my sister Laura, and a gentleman caller who appears in the final scenes. He is the most realistic character in the play, being an emissary from a world of reality that we were somehow set apart from. But, since I have a poet's weakness for symbols, I am using this character also as a symbol. He is the long-delayed but always expected something that we wait for. There is a fifth character. He only appears in this larger-than-life-size photograph above the mantel. This is our father who left us some time ago. He was a telephone man who fell in love with long distances. He left his job at the phone company and skipped a life fantastic out of town. The last we heard from him was a picture postcard from Mazatlan on the Pacific coast of Mexico, containing a message of 2 words: hello, goodbye, and no address. I think the rest of the play will explain itself.
Tom?
Yes, Mother.
We can't say grace till you come to the table.
Coming, Mother.
And chew. Animals have secretions in their stomachs which enable them to digest their food without mastication. But human beings are supposed to chew their food before they swallow it down. Eat your food leisurely, son, and really enjoy it. A well-cooked meal has lots of delicate flavors that are supposed to be held in the mouth for appreciation. So chew your food and give your salivary glands a chance to function.
I haven't enjoyed one bite of this dinner because of your constant direction on how to eat it. It's you that makes me rush through meals with your hawk-like attention to every bite I take. Sickening. Spoils my appetite, all this talk of animal secretion, salivary glands, mastication.
Temperament like a metropolitan star. You haven't been excused.
Getting a cigarette.
You smoke too much.
I'll bring in the Blanc Mange.
No, sister. You be the lady this time, and I'll be the help.
I'm already up.
Resume your seat, then, sister. I want you to stay fresh and pretty for a gentleman caller.
I'm not expecting any gentlemen callers.
Sometimes they come when they're least expected. Why, I remember one Sunday afternoon in Blue Mountain.
I know what's coming.
Yes, but let her tell it.
Again?
She loves to tell it.
One Sunday afternoon in Blue Mountain, your mother received 17 gentlemen callers. Why, sometimes there weren't chairs enough to accommodate them all. We had to send the boy over to bring in folding chairs from the parish house.
And how did you entertain these gentlemen callers?
I knew the art of conversation.
I bet you could talk.
Girls in those days knew how to talk, let me tell you.
Yes?
They knew how to entertain their gentlemen callers. It wasn't enough for a girl to be possessed of a pretty face and a graceful figure. although I wasn't slighted in either respect. She also needed a nimble wit and a tongue to meet all occasions.
And what did you talk about?
Why, things of importance going on in the world, never anything coarse or common or vulgar. My callers were gentlemen, all. Among my callers were some of the most prominent young planters of the Mississippi Delta. Planters and sons of planters. There was Champ Laughlin, who later became vice president of the Planters Delta Bank. Hadley Stevenson, who was drowned in Moon Lake and left his widow $150,000 in government bonds. The Cottrell brothers, Wesley and Bates. Bates was one of my bright particular beaux. He got into a quarrel with that wild Wainwright boy. They shot it out on the floor of Moon Lake Casino. Bates was shot in the stomach. Died in the ambulance on the way to Memphis. His widow was also well provided for. Came into 8 or 10,000 acres, that's all. She married him on the rebound. Never loved her. Carried my picture with him on the night he died. And there was that boy that every girl in the Delta had set her cap for. That beautiful, brilliant young Fitzhugh boy from Green County.
And what did he leave his widow?
He never married. Goodness. You talk as though all my old admirers had turned their toes up to the daisies.
Well, isn't he the first you mentioned that still survives?
That Fitzhugh boy went north and made a fortune, came to be known as the Wolf of Wall Street. He had the Midas touch. Whatever he touched turned to gold. And just think, I could have been Mrs. Duncan J. Fitzhugh, mind you. But I picked your father.
Let me clear the table.
No, dear, you go in front and study a typewriter chart or practice your shorthand a little. Stay fresh and pretty. It's almost time for our gentlemen callers. How many do you suppose we're going to entertain this afternoon?
I don't believe we are going to receive any, Mother.
What? No one? Not one? You must be joking. Not one gentleman caller. There must be a flood. There must have been a tornado.